Hello, welcome to some more poorly explained debate. Today I'm going to be going over summary speeches, how to do them, what they look like, what you need to look at doing for summary speeches. This one hopefully is very short because it is essentially in the exact same vein of rebuttals. So when doing a summary, you're essentially just copying the formula of a rebuttal. You're looking for information that you have. You're looking at contradictions in the debate, all the claims. You take every single piece of information that has been given and you condense it into 3 minutes. Okay, so 3 minutes, and you have all information at your disposal. This is also the last opportunity you have to introduce new information. Unless if they change the rules, which I don't believe they have, this is your last opportunity to introduce new information. Okay? So the summary just acts as a shorter rebuttal. However, unlike rebuttal, you have the summary is what I consider the end of the debate. That's when the end starts to begin, because this is the last time the first speaker, talks outside of Grand Crossfire. And so, yeah, it is outside of Grand Crossfire. I'm just making sure I've got my timeline correct. Sorry about that. And so, you need to make sure that all of the information is very, very relevant to the debate and to the end of the debate, because keep in mind, what happens at the end, what happens more recently, sticks into the judge's mind than what happens at the beginning of a debate. So you can struggle at the beginning and then get into summary, get into final focus, and absolutely take it home and win it. And you'll win the round, even though you lost first constructive and second constructive. And in my own experience, I've had rounds where I don't do too hot at the beginning. I kind of get, stomped on a little bit in Crossfire. My constructive's a little weak in comparison. And then I get to the summary and I absolutely clean house. I tear them a new one. I eviscerate their case and everything that they have stood for in the debate so far, and I win it off that, because a strong summary makes for a strong final focus as well as a strong grand crossfire, and the summary, in my opinion, is probably the most powerful speech in the entire debate, which is why I like first speaker. Second is more fun, however, first speaker, like I said, is the much more important role in regards to winning a debate. Second speakers are typically high risk, low reward, whereas first speakers have the ability to almost single-handedly change absolutely everything within the debate. And so, summary is no exception. In fact, summary is the example. Okay, so when structuring your summary, I always did it in the exact same way that I would do my rebuttals. So what I did is I just laid out a base point structure. So I would say, I would just say, so let's say we're arguing nuclear reactors. Okay, so I would talk about analog systems. I would talk about energy. I would talk about safety. And these would be the actual notes that I take, because I am naturally fairly good at impromptu, so I am able to look at these words and kind of just understand what I'm supposed to be referencing. If I have a direct quote, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to write, so let's say I actually know the name of the quote, so I will say Reuter, how do you spell it? It's like Reuter's quote. It's R-E, yeah, Reuter's. Okay, or I will actually do the, quote, let's say Reuters claims that nuclear power is totes safe, yo. Okay? I'm trying to be hip and cool for the kids. So it's Reuters. And so let's say they say that, and I don't necessarily know that quote exactly, so I would simply just write out that entire quote, and then just rattle it off. And the same goes for any information that I'm going to contest, because like I said, summary is just a shorter rebuttal. You have the ability to contest, and you absolutely need to contest. You need to look at your judge and you need to say, my opponents are wrong and here is why. And then what's going to happen is, even if you are just completely lying to everybody, if you have lost the round, you know you're going to lose a round, still get up in summary with just a little bit of confidence and just say, hey, My opponents are wrong. Here's why. Here's why we are correct. And you know what? And it'll go a long ways. Maybe not necessarily for the sake of the round, but for the sake of your confidence. Because a good summary speech will stick out, and it will make you more confident to continue the round and to go into your future rounds with a little bit more bravado. So that's kind of how I structure it. Typically, so every single speech has an opening line. Typically, when I do my summaries, I will always say I will begin my summary by going over all the information provided in this debate so far. Okay, very short line, one sentence, no big deal. It tells the judge exactly what's going to happen, sets everything up, and allows you to process information for your summary. When delivering a summary, okay? So for speakers, you give your first constructive, very intense. You're getting in their face. You're getting mad. You're sounding like a British politician. All right, we don't want that. Okay, we don't want to sound like AOC screaming at the House for whatever garbage. All right, we just want to have a casual conversation. We want to say, hey, man, look, dude, my opponents are wrong. Here's why. I'm going to tell you why. Okay? Wow. I'm not getting in your face. I'm not that person anymore. I went through meditation. I reached enlightenment during Crossfire, and here I am. I'm calm. I'm mellow. I hit LSD in the back while we were taking prep. That kind of thing. That's the kind of vibe you want to send out. You don't want to get all in their face. You don't want to get all in your opponent's face because you don't want to be that person. Okay? That's reserved for your first constructive. And so now what's happening is your judge looks at you in a much fairer light. You're able to analyze and knock your opponent's case much more credibly, and you also look much more mature in the process. So you're very calm about it. You speak slowly, normal pace. You're going over everything you need to. You speed up where it's necessary, and you slow down where it's necessary. Okay? It's all about impromptu. It's understanding what to say, how to say it, and when to say it. Okay? Now, the trick with summary, though, and like I said earlier, it is incredibly essential that every single word in summary is relevant. You have 3 minutes to digest all the information that has been provided in the debate. Every single word that is spoken is now yours to condense within 3 minutes. So you have to make sure that you have to make sure that everything you say is incredibly important because you don't have the time to, shoot farts out. Okay, you don't have the time to just riff it like you can in rebuttal. And you also have more information at your disposal, which means that it is easier to structure than a rebuttal. However, it is also more important because while you do have more information, you have less time to present that information. So you have to make sure that you present as much as you can in the most timely manner that you can, while also maintaining good composure and delivery. Alright? It is very fun to structure summaries. It is fairly easy to structure summaries. I feel like I'm overcomplicating it, so I'm going to stress that again. Okay? It's something that you do within the motion. Alright? You can explain it, and it may sound horribly difficult, but it's not really. All you have to do is simply practice impromptu. You simply have to practice analyzing an argument and presenting a rebuttal within 3 minutes. That's all it is. Okay? The only thing that you need to know for summary, alright, is everything I provided, and that your partner, okay, at first speakers, your partner cannot present any information in final focus that you presented in summary. Alright, so that's an incredibly important note too, because if you are coordinating with your partner, you're like, hey, I'm going to mention this thing in summary, alright, and I want you to mention this in final focus that I'm not going to mention in summary. That's illegal. Alright, you might get away with it, but it's technically illegal in debate, and you don't want to win by breaking rules. So just make sure that everything you say in summary is something your partner's going to say in final focus, and make sure that you don't break any rules. Make sure that everything you say in summary is incredibly important. Summaries are very easy to structure. They are my favorite speech to deliver in the entirety of public forum. And there's a reason for it. They are very powerful speeches, and if you do them well, you will go far in a round. That's really all there is to it. All it takes to be good at summaries is just practicing. When I first started, my summaries were nothing but rambling and stuttering for about half a minute, and then maybe getting on track for a few good points. If you struggle with summaries and if you struggle with rebuttals and the other impromptu sections of debate, I would recommend actually taking impromptu to a tournament or just simply practicing it, because you will come out the other side so much stronger as a speaker, as an impromptu delivery, an impromptu deliverer, and it will drastically improve your debate performance.